I'm joining you all from Templeton, California, Central California. I moved here last week, and so I'm very honored to be sharing a practice with you all today, wherever it is that you might be joining us from. So thank you so much for doing your part and showing up, and I want to thank you for being here to practice in community with one another today. There is a lot going on in our world right now, and it is a very uncomfortable time. Yet if our yoga practice has taught us anything, we most likely understand that when we allow ourselves to be uncomfortable, when we show up as a beginner, every single time we roll out our mat, when we show up as a beginner, when we can move our body and our breath and our mind in new and unusual ways, that's where transformation takes place. That's where change happens. We're all learning, so keep that in mind, whether it's your yoga practice or in life. We are all learning, and again, we're all beginners. So even if we've rolled out our mat thousands of times before, every single time we come to our practice, it's a new day. It's a new way of feeling. It is a new circumstance, and so we are a beginner of our practice today. And through COVID-19 and through the protests going on here in the United States, and through everything else that our world is being faced with right now, we have a choice. We have a choice. We can sit back and hope that everything magically disappears. We can be quiet. Or we can take action and allow ourselves to grow, just like we do on our mats. So our mat is a place to cultivate that growth. Our yoga practice doesn't end when we roll up our mat. Our yoga practice is just beginning when we step back into our day. And so we allow ourselves to come into this space together for our practice in community to grow. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a teacher in matters of racism or racial injustice or Black Lives Matter. There are incredible teachers out there like Rachel Ricketts and Tiffany Jewell, who are activists and anti-racial teachers who can help us to understand and to learn and to grow and to be corrected. But I can come to you today as a student and a teacher of yoga and to share a yoga practice with you on our mat and to help us tap into the gentleness of our hearts. And when we tap into this gentleness of our hearts, and we are able to then step off of our mat and continue to walk with love and compassion and kindness as we navigate these challenging times and these challenges that we're all faced with. Challenge and change is not easy, but it is worth it. And we know that from our yoga practice as well. So can you allow the challenges of life, the challenges that come your way, can you allow these things to teach you? And in this practice of asana and meditation today, see if you can allow your gentle heart to continue to open. So I invite you to come with me on this journey of continuing to open our heart and bringing gentleness to our hearts. So let's come to a comfortable seat on our mat. You may not need a block today, but if you would like to have one to sit on and have one nearby, feel free to have that. And I invite you to come to a cross-legged seat if that's comfortable for you, and place your hands on top of your heart and gently close your eyes. Start to deepen your breath as you invite yourself to be fully present to your practice today. Begin to add an extra second onto the inhales that you take. And add an extra second onto your exhales. And truly allow yourself to land here, right now, in this moment for your practice. According to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, before we practice asana, before we move our bodies, we practice the ways that we interact with ourselves and the ways that we interact with the world around us through the yama and niyama. And when we practice yama and niyama, the first of these practices, the first of all practices in yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, is ahimsa. Ahimsa is nonviolence. It's not just nonviolence in our actions, but it's nonviolence in our words and our thoughts. And now we are also learning that it is nonviolence by allowing ourselves to speak up and use our voices for nonviolence as well. And again, before we practice the asana practice, before we practice movement, we practice nonviolence, we practice truthfulness and non-stealing and right use of energy. We practice non-grasping to the way things have just always been so that we can allow room for change. We practice these internal practices of ourself and working on ourself. We practice purity, we practice contentment, we practice self-study, we practice self-discipline, and we practice the study and the contemplation of the divine and something greater than us, the consciousness of the whole. And so I invite you, as you come into this practice today, for it to not just be about a physical practice. It's not just about getting stronger in our physical body, or even just getting stronger in our mind, but developing and cultivating this space of our spirit. Truly allowing ourselves to practice real yoga and not just physical moves. So as you gently bow your head and breathe into the space of your heart, inviting a gentleness to this space, just notice if there is any resistance within. Just notice if there's any resistance to the idea of gentleness. Notice if your mind has said, but I want this. I want a crazy, powerful, sweaty yoga practice today. Or I don't want to talk about race when my mat is rolled out. I don't want to talk about COVID-19. I don't want to talk about the problems of the world. Just notice if there's resistance. And rather than judging any resistance, can you just pay attention? Can you observe? And maybe this practice is just what you need today. Sometimes we resist the things that we need the most. And things come to us in our lives and in our practices to teach us. Yes, we will move our bodies. And yes, we will sit in stillness. So as you take a moment here to gently bow your head and be present, see if you can set an intention for how you can make an impact. I recently learned that impact is so much more important than intention. We can have the greatest of intentions, but how are we making a positive impact? So see if you can allow yourself today to open up through the gentleness of your heart, so that through intention, you can make a greater impact. Take a deep breath all the way in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh the breath out. And gently release your hands down. Keep your eyes closed. And we will begin with a practice of Kapalabhati, skull shining breath, to begin to find a cleansing and a release and starting to create heat to burn up any of the impurities and to step into the new. So this is focus on the out breath as we pump the belly, and your inhale will happen naturally. You don't have to do it too fast. Go at your own pace. If at any time you feel faint, come back to a natural breath. If you're pregnant, just continue to breathe in and out slowly. So take an inhale all the way through your nose. A slow exhale through your nose. And then inhale 2/3 of the way and begin. Continue to focus on the out breath. Out, out, out. Maybe you go a little bit slower. Maybe it feels good to go a little bit faster. It just depends on what your body needs today, with the intention of impacting the space of purity. Allow yourself to cleanse the things that no longer serve, not just you, but no longer serve the world as a whole. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a full deep breath all the way in. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh the breath out. If you'd like to switch the crossing of your legs, I invite you to do so here. Maybe it feels better to stay as you are. Take your hands to your knees, palms face down, and let's find ribcage circles, moving your upper body in one direction. Maybe moving with your breath, or maybe moving slower than your natural breath pace. Just begin to open up through your heart space. Open up through the central channel of the body, the Sushumna Nadi, creating a little bit of movement for this space of openness, for more room to be gentle and also make an impact. Start to circle in the other direction and just notice what you feel. Without any judgment, just notice the physical sensations you have in your body. Notice anything running through your mind. And invite yourself to be fully present to everything that is here. Take your time, start to make your circles a little bit smaller. And a little bit smaller still. Continue to make your circles smaller and smaller until you make your way back up to stillness. And take a moment to just notice. Notice what you feel. Notice what is here. Allow yourself to be. Take a deep breath all the way in. Long exhale all the way out. And let's gently come to kneeling if that feels comfortable for you. You can always stay in a comfortable cross-legged seat if you prefer. Maybe sitting on a block and kneeling here. Or a pillow if you don't have a block, that's okay too. And sitting up nice and tall, roll your shoulders down away from your ears. On your inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, gently twist to the right. Left hand to your right knee, right fingertips behind you. Sit up nice and tall. Start to open up and invite your body to detoxify and to release, and to allow for change to happen in your physical body, in your mind, and in your spirit. Keep your left hand on your right leg. Take your right arm up to the sky. Stay in the twist. Take a full inhale like this. As you exhale, slowly start to side bend toward the left, but keep the twist. Reach your right fingertips over toward the left. If there's anything in your body that you need to shift or change so that you feel a little bit more safe in the body, feel free to do so. And just allow this to be a moment to notice if there's discomfort. Notice if it is for positive change, or if it's going to be detrimental to you. Gently ease out in any way. Inhale, reach your right arm back to the sky. Exhale, sweep it down and back behind you. Take one more inhale into your twist. Exhale, slowly start to release, face forward. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, gently twist to the left. Right hand to your left leg. Left fingertips behind you. Sit up nice and tall. And create more space for your breath. If it's hard to take a deep breath in, see if you can ease out just a little bit. Allow the healthy prana, the life force, to move with your breath. Allow your breath to be the vehicle of this life force. Continue to open up through the space of your heart. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Keep your right hand on your left leg. Keep the gentle twist and lift your left arm up to the sky. Take a full inhale. Exhale, slowly start to bend to the right while keeping this gentle twist. Continue to look to the left. And again, notice the places that you might need to ease out if you're going to cause harm. But also notice if there is discomfort that might be good for positive change. Reach through your fingertips, relax through your shoulders. Continue to breathe deeply. On your next inhale, lift your left arm back to the sky. Exhale, left fingertips behind you. Stay in the twist for one more breath. Lift a little bit higher. Take a deep breath in. And with your exhale, slowly start to unwind, facing forward. Give yourself a little shimmy, a little shake, a release of that. And let's make our way into tabletop pose. So come to all fours. Shoulders on top of your wrists, hips above your knees with your knees hip-width apart. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of release. And gently release your neck, so move your head from side to side. Come back into center, take a deep breath in. Exhale, let's move into child's pose. Release down and back. Arms straight forward, make this an active child's pose. So even when we find a little bit of softness, even when we are opening our heart, not just from the front space of our body, but also the back side of our body, can we continue to find a little bit of that place of activity? Elbows off of the mat, fingertips spread wide. Breath is nice and deep. Take a full inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh your breath out. And we begin to find Vinyasa, to move our body and our breath together, to be fully present to everything that we're doing, and to allow ourselves to move our body in new and unusual ways, no matter what that might mean to you today. On your inhale, gently lift yourself up to tabletop pose. Tuck your toes as you exhale. Let's find downward facing dog. We're not here for long. Inhale, gently come forward to plank. Lower your knees. Exhale, come back into child's pose. Let's flow like this with our breath. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank, and once you get there, lower your knees. Exhale, child's pose. Again, like this, inhale, tabletop, all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank, slowly lower your knees with control. Exhale, child's pose. This time, inhale, come forward to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog, and we'll hold this downward facing dog and take any movements here that feel good for you to start to open up your body. So maybe you pedal out your legs a little bit here. And breathe into the space of your heart. As you inhale deeply and exhale fully, can you begin to crack the shell around the heart, any barriers that you might have around it? And allow yourself to breathe in the light. Whether you're practicing with us here on the west coast of the United States and it's morning time, or you're practicing with us and it's the end of your day, can you continue to find a softness and allow the light of the day, the light of the sun, the light of all the hearts around the world to open up the space of your heart? Start to release your heels down toward the earth, toes spread wide, fingertips spread wide. Take a full inhale in down dog, look forward. As you exhale, step your feet in between your hands, forward fold. Lift halfway up, flat back as you inhale. Fold all the way back down with your exhale. Inhale, sweep your arms up toward the sky. Exhale, pull your hands into your heart center. Inhale, lift your arms up, gathering the light. Exhale, forward fold, release down. Inhale, lift halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold down, bend your knees, and step back into plank pose. Shift forward as you inhale. You can always lower your knees. Exhale, chaturanga. Gentle cobra pose. Inhale, warm up your spine. Greet your practice, greet your day. Exhale, release. Inhale to either tabletop or plank pose. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths here. And through these simple movements, can you continue to open up through the space of your heart? Maybe even practicing these sun salutations with your eyes closed and dropping out of the space of your head and into the space of your heart. We will do several rounds of our sun salutations here today, building a little bit of heat, finding that purity, but also allowing ourselves to be mindful in our movement. Slow your breath to slow your movement. Rise up onto your toes, take an inhale. Bend your knees, step or hop in between your hands, forward fold. Lift halfway up, deep breath in. Fold back down with your exhale. Inhale, arms lift up toward the sky. Exhale, pull your hands to heart center. Inhale, arms rise. Hinge at your hips, forward fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Hands down, step or hop back, chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog, whatever you need today. Downward facing dog, exhale. Take a deep breath in and an exhale. Rise back up onto your toes, inhale. Bend your knees, step or hop forward, exhale. Lift up, inhale. Fold back down, exhale. Lift all the way up, arms to the sky, deep breath. Exhale, hands to your heart. Arms rise, inhale, gather positive energy. Exhale, pull it into your heart as you release down through Sushumna Nadi, central channel with love. Inhale, lift halfway, offer your heart. Exhale, hands down, chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Take a couple of breaths here in your downward facing dog. Breathe in nice and deep. And we'll do just a couple more rounds just like this. Continuing to find a little bit of that movement so that we can create more space for change. Rise up onto your toes, inhale. Bend your knees, step or hop forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold back down, exhale. Arms sweep high, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Continuous movement here. Inhale, arms rise. Forward fold, exhale, lower. Halfway up, inhale. Hands down, step or hop back, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Take an inhale in down dog. Exhale, step or hop forward. Lift halfway up, inhale. Fold back down, exhale. Inhale, arms rise up. Hands to prayer, Anjali Mudra. Arms lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Vinyasa, exhale. Slow your breath. Full inhale. Down dog, exhale. Last time, rise up onto your toes, inhale. Bend your knees, step or hop forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold back down, exhale. Inhale, arms sweep up. Hands to your heart, exhale. Now let's pause here, hands at your heart. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Release any tension that you might be feeling here. And with your feet hip width apart, rooted down into the earth, take your fingertips to touch and move your palms away from each other, finding Hakini mudra, this gesture of concentration. And concentrate all of your focus into the space of your heart and into the space of your hands in front of your heart as you imagine gathering positive light, positive love, kindness, compassion in the space of your heart. And allow ourselves to cultivate this richness in our heart and to let it grow. On your next inhale, pull your hands away from each other. Cactus your arms, open your heart a little bit wider. As you exhale, back to Hakini mudra, bring your fingertips to touch. Gently bow your head. Again, inhale, open all the way up. Exhale, pull your hands together, fingertips touch. 2 more like this. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, fingertips touch. 1 more time. Inhale, open your heart space. And exhale, pull it back together. And just imagine a little bit more of that space for love as you pull your hands a little bit further away from each other without your fingertips touching. Grow this energy of love around the space of your heart, in front of the space of your heart. And then take that energy and place it on top of your heart, placing your hands here. Take a deep breath all the way in. And then exhale all the way out. Inhale, sweep your arms to the sky. Forward fold, exhale, lower. Halfway up, inhale. Hands down, step or float back. Find your vinyasa. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. And come back into the space of intention, of how you can make an impact. You don't have to have all the answers right now, but just allowing yourself to create space, to have an impact, to create positive change in your own life, which will have a ripple effect out into the world. Keep rooting down through your hands into the earth. On your inhale, lift your right leg up toward the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, lift the leg back up. Exhale, step your right foot forward in between your hands. Spin your back heel flat. Line up your front heel with your back heel or a little bit wider. And rise up. Feet are hip width apart. Let's find warrior one. If this doesn't feel good on your hip or your low back, you can come to crescent pose instead. So whatever feels best for you, you can lift the back toes up and your back heel is lifted here, or you can spin the back heel flat. Take a full inhale here. Exhale, humble warrior, and let's hug our thigh. We're going to stay here for a few moments, so give your thigh a big hug. Keep bending through your front knee, and take a few moments for humility. You can always place your fingertips down on the earth, but really allow yourself to hold yourself
in this space of being a humble warrior. Take another full inhale and another exhale. Inhale, sweep your arms back up to the sky. As you exhale, warrior two, heel toe your right foot over to the left. Reach your arms out wide and sink down just a little bit deeper here. Relax through your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale out. Inhale, straighten your front leg, spin your toes forward. As you exhale, dive forward. You're a little bit pigeon toes, toes turn in. Relax through the crown of your head down to the earth. Take a wide-legged forward fold and start to open up through the back side of your body just a little bit more. Open up through the back side of your heart. Our heart doesn't have to just shine love forward. It can shine love behind us, to the sides of us. Through every corner of our heart, we can express love and kindness to everyone and everything we come in contact with. Breathe into the back of your heart. Create a little more gentleness, a little more softness as you release just a little bit further. Place your fingertips underneath your head. On your inhale, lift halfway up, flat back here in this wide-legged forward fold. Exhale to release back down. Crawl your hands to your right foot. Spin your right toes forward. Let's find a low runner's lunge here. Plant through your hands. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Right leg lifts up toward the sky. And exhale, move through Vinyasa. Take your time. Take a moment here in your downward facing dog. Relax your heels toward the earth. Breathe in deep and find that gentleness and that softness even in a pose that builds strength. Keep rooting through your hands. On your inhale, lift your left leg up toward the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, lift your leg all the way back up. Exhale, step your left foot forward in between your hands, top of the mat. Back heel spins flat, and let's find warrior one. Lift your arms up toward the sky. And again, take a moment to notice what your body feels like, and if you would like to make a change, maybe it's a crescent pose. Maybe it is staying in a warrior one. Maybe there's a little bit of a change with the hips, but see if you can shine your headlights straight forward if that feels good for you. Lift up through your fingertips just a little bit more. Bend the front knee a little bit deeper. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, humble warrior. Give yourself a big hug here. And again, we can allow ourselves to find strength as we find this humility. Allowing ourselves to be humble so that we can be challenged, we can be corrected, we can learn and we can grow. And allowing ourselves to open up through every space of our heart, not just one side of it. You might bend your front knee a little bit more. Maybe you start to feel that fire burning just a little bit here. Keep pressing through your feet. Take an inhale. Stay here as you exhale. Inhale, sweep your arms back up to the sky. And exhale, warrior two. Heel toe your left foot over to the right a little bit to narrow the stance. Reach through your fingertips. Relax through your shoulders and look forward. Sink down into your warrior two just a little bit further. Relax through your face. On your next inhale, straighten your front leg, reach your arms up to the sky, spin your left toes to face forward. And with your exhale, wide-legged forward fold, toes turn in, heels slightly out. Release into this space. We don't have to overcomplicate things in order to see change. So change in our body, we don't have to do something super fancy on our mat in order for us to open up. in order for us to find flexibility, to find strength, to find steadiness, and to find ease. We can allow ourselves to keep it simple. Allow our yoga practice to work its magic just by simply arriving, by showing up, by taking a stand and being here. Let's place our fingertips underneath our head. On an inhale, lift halfway up, rise up onto your fingertips. Exhale, lower all the way back down. Crawl your hands to your left foot, point your left toes forward, and come to a low runner's lunge. Feet are hip-width apart, hands down to the earth. Strong through your hands. Inhale, left leg rises up, three-legged down dog. And exhale through your last vinyasa. Nice and strong. Take your time as you move through your vinyasa. Make your way into downward facing dog. Take a full deep breath in down dog. And then exhale all the way out. Shift forward to plank as you inhale. Chaturanga with your exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Relax the tops of your feet. Let's crawl our hands forward and come into a Sphinx pose. Shoulders on top of your elbows, palms face down. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Lift the crown of your head to the sky. Pull your navel ever so slightly in. Relax your glutes. And breathe deep. Breathe into the gentleness of your heart. Breathe into the movements that your body has taken and into the stillness that it's in right now. Breathe into the movement of every inhale and every exhale. Take a few more breaths here. Deep breath all the way in. Long exhale all the way out. Slowly release yourself all the way down. Bend your knees, feet up toward the sky, and just rock your feet from side to side. Give yourself a little bit of a release here, a letting go. Bring your feet back up to the sky and lower them down to the earth. Hands underneath your shoulders. Gently press yourself up to tabletop pose. Crawl your knees forward. Make your way to a seat and bring the soles of your feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Baddha Konasana. If you need a block underneath one or both knees or a pillow for a little support for your knees or hips, feel free to do so. Take a deep breath in, lift up a little bit taller, create a little more space in your spine. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, and let's find a nice gentle fold here. See if you can feel your breath in between your shoulder blades. Create a softening through that space and a softening through the back side of your heart. That wraps around to both sides of the heart, the top and bottom of your heart, and all the way around to the front of your heart. Just wrapping your entire heart space with this blanket of gentleness, this calming ease, and this love, this compassion and kindness toward yourself. Take a deep breath all the way in. And then exhale all the way out. Slowly start to lift yourself all the way back up to a seat. Bring your hands to your knees, knees up to the sky. Straighten your legs for a moment and just wiggle out the things that you might be feeling here, these sensations. Wiggle your toes. And again, change brings about transformation. Things are a little bit different. And so today in our practice, we will be concluding our practice with a meditation. I invite you to sit up for this meditation, but if you feel that you would like to be in Shavasana for the meditation, feel free to do so, but see if you can keep the awakeful alertness in this space. And again, just notice if there's any resistance that arises to doing something a little bit differently. And just notice what happens when you come into a space of softening from this resistance and allowing the heart to open a little bit more. Come into a place where you can comfortably sit or lay and gently close your eyes. And through your practice with Dana last week, we practiced metta, this loving kindness. And this is a practice that doesn't have to just be done once. This is something we can practice every day, and it's a very powerful practice of sending loving kindness out into the world. And it starts with the self. Take a few moments to tap into your breath, to notice what it feels like to inhale and to exhale. And allow your attention and awareness to drop down from your head into the space of your heart. And imagine a light in this space of your heart. And this light doesn't stay the same always. It's not stagnant. This light continually grows and it softens. It moves and it shifts, it changes. But it's always there. So as you breathe, allow your breath to be the vehicle for transformation in the space of your heart. Imagine this light in your heart growing with every inhale that you take and gently softening with every exhale. And as you watch this light grow and soften in your heart, allow yourself to move from this space and offer loving kindness from the space of your gentle heart. It all starts with the self. So picture in your mind's eye yourself. Maybe imagining you're looking at yourself in the mirror or sitting in front of yourself. Maybe it is as you are today or a younger, different version of yourself. Just picture yourself in your mind and offer yourself these words of loving kindness. May I be safe and protected. May I be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May I know joy and the seeds of joy. May I be at peace.
May I be safe and protected. May I be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May I know joy and the seeds of joy. May I be at peace. As you continue to allow this loving kindness to grow in the space of your heart, just let the image of yourself fade into the background. Return to your breath. Inhale and exhale. Now picture in your mind's eye a loved one. They may be a friend or family or pet. Someone that is here on earth or who has passed on and is here in spirit. Loving kindness transcends all space and time. And as you picture this loved one in your mind, send this person or animal loving kindness as well. May you be safe and protected. May you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May you know joy and the seeds of joy. May you be at peace. May you be safe and protected. May you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May you know joy and the seeds of joy. May you be at peace. And as you continue to offer loving kindness to this loved one from your heart, gently allow the image of this loved one in your mind to fade as you come back to the space of your breath. Inhale and exhale. And as you continue to breathe, keeping loving kindness in your heart, start to picture someone in your mind that is challenging. It doesn't have to be the most challenging person you've ever faced. It may be one person or a group of people. And just notice. Notice any feelings or sensations in your body or mind or emotions that arise. Without any judgment toward yourself, just be aware. Notice any resistance that might come up to offering them the same that you've offered yourself and loved ones. But with this space of a gentle heart, offer this challenging person or people these words of loving kindness. May you too be safe and protected. May you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May you know joy and the seeds of joy. And may you also be at peace. May you be safe and protected. May you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May you know joy and the seeds of joy. May you be at peace. And as you allow the image of this challenging person or people to gently fade from your mind, start to return back to your breath, softening in your heart. Breathe deep. With any emotions that arise, allow them to be. Any lack of emotion, sitting in non-judgment. Returning to balance of your inhale and exhale. And now, in your mind's eye, call to mind the Black community. The Black community of the world, George Floyd and his family, and all of the families that have suffered from injustice. Maybe there's someone that you know personally that you can call to mind. Or the Black community as a whole. And send the Black community these words of love and kindness. May you be safe and protected. May you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May you know joy and the seeds of joy. May you be at peace. May you be safe and protected. May you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May you know joy and the seeds of joy. may you be at peace. And as you breathe deeply and continue to send these emotions and words and vibrations of loving kindness to the Black community, begin to picture in your mind's eye the entire world and every human being and every living being on this planet. And offer these words of loving kindness to everyone and everything in the entire world. May all beings everywhere be safe and protected. May all beings be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May everyone know joy and the seeds of joy. May we all be at peace. May we all be at peace. May all beings be at peace. Start to deepen your breath. Witness this light in your heart grow and soften as you breathe. And just rest in your gentle heart as you offer the entire world love and peace. Continue to allow your gentle heart to circulate loving kindness, not just in meditation, but even as you move into the rest of your day. If you would like to stay laying down, if that's where you are, you can stay there or take your time to move back to a seat. Wherever you end your practice today, I invite you to place your hands on top of your heart and be humble to the change and transformation that our entire world is going through right now. And allow yourself to take your practice off of your mat and into the world around you. Again, not just practicing asana, but practicing every layer, every limb of yoga. And there's a quote from Ashley Island, who's a Black woman and a pastor and preacher that I'd like to share with you that I came across this morning. And she says, "Say what you need to on social media, then put down your phone and pick up your life. Not many will see you learning, confessing, repenting, uprooting, retooling, forgiving, inviting, empowering. But we will see its fruit. The hidden work is the heart work, is the hard work. Meditation doesn't teach us to be passive, complacent, and it doesn't teach us to lose our voice. Meditation centers us and prepares us to take action, to face making mistakes and continue to grow and continue to learn. So as we step off of our mat from the space of movement as well as stillness, asana as well as meditation, in this space of opening up a little bit more through our gentle heart, can we allow ourselves to take this practice truly with us as we continue to grow? And not just have intention in our heart, intention in our practice and in our mind, but grow that intention into an impact, and creating positive impact toward ourselves and on our own lives, creating positive change and impact to the lives of everyone in this world. I want to thank you all so very much for taking your time to practice with me and to practice with yourself and with each other in community today. The goodness and the light that's within me truly honors the goodness, light, love, peace, compassion, and kindness that is within you. Namaste.